Hi, I'm Lena. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another round of TBR board. Today I'm going to pick my TBR for the month of February and I wanted to spice up the TBR board a little bit because the last couple of rounds I felt like it was very tame. I did this when I played the Boekaplathon board in September for Becca's Boekaplathon, and I've seen other people do it as well. And that is that you add like a punishment in your game. You have to add another round of your TBR game. So I decided that if I get to the same tile twice, I have to add another throw. So this will probably be if I get one genre twice, or if I get the purple dot that says TBR card twice. If you want to know the rules of my game TBR board, it is in the description down below, but it's very self-explanatory. I am curious to see what it's going to mean, if we're going to stick very close to the 6, or if this game is going to explode. As far as book club reads go, I have quite a bit. I have the Hobbies book club, but I will keep that one for next month. I still have Romola by George Eliot because this was a January and February pick. And I have a book that is right there, but I'm also starting with the read-along of Feminism She Wrote, and our first read will be A Room of One's Own. I don't necessarily need to plan this like very close to a live show like I usually do with book club reads, because I'm going to film a book review so I can upload that whenever I want. So if I can add it here, it's fine, otherwise I will add it for next month. Although March and April are very busy reading months for me, so it would be great if I can add it here, but we're going to start this adventure together with the first roll. Alright, last time we played we ended on historical fiction, so let's do our first roll. A 5. 1, 2, start. 3, 4, 5. Roll number 1 was a genre tile, and this is a book that's at least 100 years old, so I'm going to of course add Romola here. That is one book away that I will read anyway in the month of February. We are doing a read along for this book. It has already started, but you can still join if you want to. The information is in the description down below. Roll number 2. 2. 1, 2. TBR cards. Book set in a different country than your own. Right, roll number 2 was a TBR card, and that was a book. Can you see it? Wait, it's going to focus. Book set in a different country than your own. If you've seen my goals list, then you know I want to read from Scandinavia and Latin America mainly this year. Of course, I'm open to any great books that come my way, but that is going to be my focus. So for that, I'm going to read a childhood favorite, which I've never actually read myself. My parents have always read it to me, and that is Pippi Longstocking by Astrid Lindgren. Pippi was my childhood hero. I wanted to be Pippi. I have dressed up as Pippi multiple times. My mom gave me braids with like wires in them so that they would stand like this. I think I still have like a Pippi picture somewhere in the house, so I'm going to be really happy while reading this one. Roll number 3 is a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, which is a Pethic, which is pretty perfect because Nora is sitting on my reading chair right now being really interested in TBR board. So let's ask Nora to pick a book for us. Okay, here we have Nora. I should probably get treats as well. I don't have treats right here, but I picked 3 books that I've been staring at for a long time, so no one is talking about this. Great Circle and Homegoing. So let's see if Nora is up for the challenge. I think she's mainly pissed that I am disturbing her peace. I'm afraid if I go downstairs and she hears the treat that she will go, that she will leave. Nora, which one should I read? What is your verdict? You are so cute, but can you also participate, please? Okay, guess I need to get the treats. Nora is aware of the treats. Oh no. We have... Oh! Bella! Okay, Bella came in for just one treat. And she picked Great Circle. Nora, honestly. You're just having Bella steal your treats? Here you go, sweetheart. That is how comfortable you are in a chair. Yes, that's nice. I know. Here's another one. Yes. Well, thank you for not picking, Nora. That was all, girls. Role number 3 was honestly a mess because Bella just stole Nora's treat, which is so rude, but she did pick a book I really want to read, and she picked Great Circle by Maggie Shipstead. This is a historical fiction with a dual timeline. I think we are in 1914. I think we follow a pilot and then we follow someone later, a century later, so 2014. Movie star Hadley Baxter is cast to play Marion in a film centered on her disappearance in Antarctica. This just sounds so cool, like you have a female pilot and then someone who is playing that female pilot. I have heard nothing but amazing things about this book, and clearly I bought it because everyone said it was great. I wanted to read it earlier, but I guess Bella finally called me out and said I needed to read this in February. Right, rule number 4. Is it 3? 1, 2, 3, which is Virginia Woolf. Alright, for rule number 4, I'm going to pick the book up. Rule number 4 was Virginia Woolf, and I feel like of all my author titles, that one has come up the most. I would have to count. I feel like Toni Morrison never comes up and Virginia Woolf all the time. I don't know how that would work statistically, but it's just how it happens. But of course it's really helpful this month because I am going to read A Room of One's Own by Virginia Woolf. This is a feminist essay, quite a famous feminist essay that I've already read before, but to me it seems like the perfect book to start our feminist read along with. I'm really excited to read it again. I did annotate it, I think, on my ebook when I first read it, so I will now annotate it again, and when I finish it I will post a book review on my channel of A Room of One's Own. And now she wants to participate. Good gracious. Right, rule number 5 is a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh my gosh, I cannot reach it. 6, which is a TBR card. No, Bella, do not do it. No, no! This is a bucket list adventure. Oh, I think this is a TBR card from... No, from one of you guys. Oh gosh, what have I done with treats? No. Rule number 5 was a TBR card, which means we're going to have to do an extra roll. But that TBR card was bucket list adventure. I had such a hard time picking for this, so I'll just... Let's pick one together because it's really hard. Okay, for this prompt I have picked 4 books and I'm going to ask you guys to please pick for me. So when I upload this video I will put a poll on the community tab. You can pick my read for me because I just don't know. A bucket list adventure. If I think of anything that's on my bucket list, I think it's almost travel. All of them. So I picked a few books that I know contain travel. It also contains people just going on adventures. I have one fantasy and that is The Firekeeper's Daughter. I think this is about someone who witnesses a crime and goes undercover. Haunted, I don't think that anyone would have it on their bucket list to go undercover after witnessing a crime. But they're just going to go with it. I have Frenchman's Creek by Daphne du Maurier. This is, I think, about a woman who falls in love with a pirate. I think she follows that pirate as they go do shit, so that sounds cool too. Olivia by Dorothy Strachey is about a woman who moves to France, or a young girl I think who goes to France and she falls in love with a woman there. Travel. How I Live Now by Meg Rosoff. This is about a girl who moves from the US to the UK during the Second World War. I don't know, like, which of these 4 do you think matches the prompt of a bucket list adventure most? Leave your thoughts in the poll. I will pick which one you will pick for me. Okay, we were here, right? Oh gosh, what have I done? Okay, number 6. It's 3. 1, 2, 3. And we also got that one. Why did I make this new rule? You will wonder. Oh god, okay. Rule number 6, and very much not our last rule, was a classic that's at least 100 years old, so we have to add yet another rule. And I'm going to pick a classic that is 101 years old. And that is The Garden Party by Catherine Mansfield. I've been wanting to read this one a long time. These are modernist short stories and Catherine Mansfield had such an interesting relationship with Virginia Woolf that I feel like I need to read some of this. This was a birthday gift from Puck. Thank you so much, Puck, for this gift. I love the edition and I cannot wait to read Catherine Mansfield. So this was, I think, written in 1922 and it's now 2023. So at least 100 years old. Then we have rule number 7, which is a 3. 1, 2, 3, which is a contemporary. Roll number 7 was a contemporary, and I'm going to pick a book that I've been saving because winter is in the title and I wanted to read it in winter, and it's finally winter. This is 5 Tuesdays in Winter by Lily King. This is a short story collection. I think about love. I think they're mainly romance short stories. I read Writers and Lovers by Lily King in 2021 and it was one of my favorite books and I really enjoyed it. I know that Lily King's earlier work is not necessarily recommended as often as her newer work, so when she released a bundle of short stories, I thought I need to read that. So now that it's winter, I'm going to be distracted by a cat on the floor, but also I'm going to read the short story collection 5 Tuesdays in Winter. Can you see Bella's little nose? Oh my god. Okay. And the final roll, roll number 8, which please be a final roll. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, it's not the final roll. Why? We have another contemporary. Roll number 8 made me kind of regret adding this new rule into the game because it's again contemporary. So we're getting a roll 9 and this is becoming a very unrealistic TBR, but it's fine. I'm going to add some lighter reads in here, otherwise it's not going to happen. So for contemporary, I'm going to read a romance that I've been eyeing for a long time. I own it for over a year now, I think. And that is The Love Hypothesis by Ellie Hazelwood. I've heard mixed things about this, but I know that Sarah wants me to read it. I know that Charlotte from Queenie Reads added it to her honorable mentions of her favorite books of the year. I know it's supposed to be fanfiction that is Star Wars based, but I don't massively care about Star Wars. I'm not a hater. I've seen the films. I enjoyed them, but I don't think I will cringe that hard knowing who the characters are based on, and they work in science and they are colleagues. I think they're colleagues, or I think she is like a graduate, something like that. I don't know. I'm going to discover. I don't know the romance tropes. She's a third year PhD candidate. Oh, Olive doesn't believe in true love, but she is going to experiment and see if it exists. Ooh, this sounds fun. I did get an audiobook for this one as well because I love listening to romance on audio. It's just the biggest treat to myself when I do. I'm really excited for this. Roll number 9. Just not going to call it a final roll. A 1. Oh, thank heavens. Okay, this is a non-fiction with a TBR card. Previous TBR fail. Ooh, I do not know if I have these. Roll number 9 was thankfully the last row, and also the most difficult prompt because we have a genre roll and that is non-fiction, and a TBR card, which is previous TBR fail, which this one has come up a few times and oh gosh, I'm sorry. And I don't like it much. I really had to crack my brain because sure, I have some TBR fails, but I can't remember any of them being non-fiction. I do, however, have a vague memory of this being on a TBR sometime in history. I think I made a list of books I wanted to read for Women in Translation Month and I never got to this one. So I guess it counts. And that is The Unwomanly Face of War. This is translated from the Russian. This won the Nobel Prize for Literature, or I think it is then the author who won that. Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. The author interviewed a lot of Russian women about their experience fighting and doing whatever they did during the Second World War. This is what their place was in the military, in how the war was organized. And we don't hear those stories from women very often, do we? Heard great things about this, and I guess I'm reading it this month. So these are the 9 books I'm going to read this month, including Lily King's short story collection, which I do not own, but I'm going to listen to. So these are the books. Not very realistic, is it? I do often read around 10 books a month, and I do have quite a few audiobooks for this one. So I have an audiobook for Ellie Hazelwood, The Garden Party. I would love an audiobook for The Unwomanly Face of War, but I don't think it exists because it's quite a niche kind of book and those usually don't have audiobooks. It sounds doable. It really depends on how my month is going. I am excited for all of these books. Again, all the information on read-alongs and book clubs is in the description down below. If you have loved any of these books I've shown today, I would love to know to get extra excited for my February TBR. For now, I hope... Oh, I almost forgot. We're adding another one of these. Totally forgot. Please let me know which book you want me to read in a community tab, and I will see you in another video. Doei!